Today on this video, we're going to try to show, it's one of our shop projects for the day, how to properly install a tank protector. These are very common. Almost everybody that has a sport bike has one. And there's a couple little tricks that'll make it that you can get it on straight the first time and not have it come up a year later. It'll start peeling up. There's a lot of little tricks. I'm going to try to share them on this video. Now, of course, it's best to do this job with the bike straight up and down, not on an angle where you would have the kickstand. If you have a center stand, it's best to do the whole job while it's on the center stand. Just makes it easier to line it up. Now every bike is different, and on a bike, this is my R1, where you tend to rub in this with the zipper of your jacket, or in my case I always wear full riding gear. There's always something rough up here, and I put this on when I bought the bike, and this is a relatively expensive one. They come various grades, they come up to $30 I think. And as low as I've seen them for $4 or $5. And the difference is a lot of times just the quality, and the other difference is the glue, and I'll explain that in a minute. Now, old school bikes, you don't need it because they had this little curve in the seat that kept you from rubbing on the tank. But I've even seen people that have these bikes that put one up here, maybe they lean over the tank. And a lot of people just put them on for style. And I've had my MT-09 over 2 years now, and I haven't got a scratch on, and I left this little decal on. Not because I like the decal, I just figured it looked better than over here. I didn't want to have some big giant thing. This really did the job, and I don't have a single scratch on the tank. But this bike, my seating position is I sit relatively far back, and it's got wide bars. I don't really need one, but some people lean over the tank, and there's other things. And the good idea is if you see you've scratched the tank, before you scratch it anymore, go get one of these inexpensive pads. Now on the FZR with this little curve in the front of the seat, I have seen other people with FZRs that have a piece here. I have never scratched the paint. So I guess it's the way I sit on the bike, but either way, some people would put them on just for the style. But because I had that paint job, I wanted to see that stripe the whole way down the tank and the fender. So I avoided putting a tank pad on this, and I have never scratched a tank yet. But the Kawasaki, which we're going to do today, is a different story. Now, I'm not even sure if you can see it, but this has this clear plastic protection on it that I had on, and it was just to keep the zipper from scratching, and it worked fine. But I see it's got a couple of scratches and gouges in it now. Time to replace it, and I wanted to put on something a little bit nicer than the clear. I think this is some kind of vinyl material. I got this from Dave Midgley for other purposes. But it worked good on that for a little while now, a couple of years. So the first thing is, because we're working in the middle of the winter here, I want to warm this up. I want to peel this off, but I want to have the part plenty warm. And then I'm going to show how I line it up. Because, see, these pads have two different kinds of glue. One is called, you get one chance to put it down. When you pull it up, half of the glue stays on the part. It negates that you're ever going to put it back down the second time. The more expensive ones you buy, the $20 and $30 ones, you can get them up with heat and move it. But the best thing of all is get it on straight the first time, and I'll show my method of doing that. Now, there's a general rule about these types of glues that I've found, and tape. If you leave this out in a really cold day, it gets very, very sticky. And it may tend to mar the paint underneath when you pull it up. The heat is always in your favor when you're trying to pull up masking tape or one of the old stickers. Even if the bike hasn't been repainted, if it's a factory paint job, heat is always your best friend. Now, if you have a factory paint job, not really critical, but if you have a bike that's been painted over the old paint, you don't want to run any risk of pulling up paint or delaminating it in any way. Because you never know. That's always a possibility when you paint over old paint. But I've fast forwarded this so you wouldn't get bored to death. I was very slow pulling that up. Now the next step is simple green, and this will get off most of all of the wax. Now I shopped around to get a tank pad that kind of matched the shape. Not all of them match. Before you buy one, you should kind of look around. And because if you get one that's going to be the wrong shape, in fact, the one that matches this the best that I found is the one for a CBR. And I think this is going to be a nice installation. I guess we're going to find out. But now it's a real important thing to get this perfectly clean, as warm as possible, and then I'll dry this off with a clean paper towel. This should get off any of the wax or the grit or anything that's on there. So we get a good bond and the pad doesn't tend to come up. So the next step is I want to trim off all the extra of this plastic. Just take a scissor, trim it off, because I want to try to use this. I want to lay out tape and make a little picture frame that this is going to go in, because I don't know if the glue on this, now I haven't put this brand on before, but the one I got for the R1, in the directions it says get it right the first time. Now I don't know about this one. Maybe we will get more than one shot, but even so, the second time you put the glue on and you press it down, then what's going to happen is at some point in time, it's going to want to peel up either really cold weather, really hot weather. I don't know. I'd like it to go on as straight as possible on the first shot. And I will show the method I've used, and I've used it in modeling and in motorcycles too. It seems to work no matter what you do. It's a good way to do it. And of course, the other thing is to keep this as warm as possible. If you're working in a warm climate, put it out in the sun. With no sun today, so I'm going to have to heat this with a hairdryer before I stick it down. Now this is the best trick I know to get it in the middle, because here's the possibility. You get it right in the middle, or it's off to one side, off to the other, or it's crooked, whatever. But it only takes a minute longer to take some 1/8" tape. I know this is in the center of the tank. I can see, I can eyeball this, but then I'm going to remeasure it, that I'm in exactly in the middle. And that gives me a working center line to work with. Now the next thing I want to do is get a center line on this. This should be relatively easy. And if you're in doubt, you can measure point to point. Now this tape is going to stay on for right now, and I'm going to show why. Now what I'm going to do is go cut the tape underneath this. I'm going to take that piece out and then line up this point and this point when I lay this on, and hopefully get it right on the first shot. What I'm doing is by moving this further up, I want to get this curved. This is why I shopped for this for so long. I want to get exactly where I want this with the two curves. Now if I were to just take this, peel it off and stick it on, you can imagine, if you're not fussy, of course it doesn't matter, but I am burdened with being fussy. Okay, that just looks like that's going to be perfect, and this shape is perfect. So now what I need to do is just cut this very carefully. Don't cut the paint. So what I did, I cut this piece of tape out, leaving on both ends, and that's going to allow me to line up both ends, that end. It guides me as to how far forward or back it is, and side to side. It's a really nice, convenient way of lining this up. But the big thing to remember now, I've got to get the hairdryer out, warm this area, and then I get one shot to lay this down, and if it's crooked, shame on me. So there's a couple of reasons you want this warm. First off, you want that vinyl to bend conveniently, and because of the unique shape, I don't want to get a wrinkle in it or have it twist or anything, but having it nice and warm and warming up the part where it's going to actually adhere and warming up the vinyl and lining up the two center lines, the front and the back, ensures we have it at exactly the right spot, not too far forward, not crooked, not off in the back. And this is where a little bit of patience pays big dividends. And of course, if you live in a warm weather climate, just do this out in the sun. Unfortunately, we can't do that today. It's really not happening. And once I know I have it exactly where I want it, I can peel up the tape, of course. There's no tape under the sticker. It worked out that the alignment was perfect on the first shot, and To me, that's a little important detail. I have seen many people with a beautiful sport bike and that tank protector on just about 2 degrees off. And it doesn't have to be off. It's just as easy to put it on straight. It takes 2 minutes extra to get it on straight. Yeah, that really worked out nice. I think we got it right in the middle. And we got it on the first shot. I guess we're just lucky. But that tape does help you line up. If you work any job you work like this off a center line and then mark the part, you have a lot better chance than if you just walk up and plop. And if that thing is crooked, and it's uncanny how it doesn't have to be really crooked a lot. And people notice it right away. Well, at least I do. And by the way, for the 650, the CBR one maintains that exact curve. It just couldn't be made any better. I guess the tanks are similar in shape in the back. And that will protect no matter what you where your riding position is or what riding gear you use. I think that was a job well done. I'm going to go have an extra cup of coffee and celebrate. So it is a relatively simple job, and I think the little tips that I've shown can make it even easier, or that you get a better chance of getting it in place no matter which one you buy. And again, they do come all different price ranges. I really don't know about the quality, but I know the one I bought for the R1 was about $30. This one was about $6, and I'm hoping this is going to hold up just as well. But again, time will tell, and if it falls apart, I'll report it. Anyway, I hope this information on the video was useful. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very, very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. And thanks everyone for watching.